স্টপ করলেন না চালু করলেন?
স্টার্ট করলাম।
লিভার সেভ হবে কি?
জানা করতেছে।
আরে আদনান ভাই
হয়েছে?
আছে। আরে রিমিউট করুন।
কি অবস্থা রিদম, কেমন চলে? হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ ভাই শোনা যায়।
ও যাক, অস্থির। রামিজ আছে তো এখানে না?
হ্যাঁ
রামিজ আছে না পাশে?
হ্যাঁ এই তো।
হ্যাঁ, রমিজের তরকারি প্লিজ তুমি একটু রেকর্ড করে রেখো।
ওই যে আমি প্রেস করে দিছি রুমের ওই রেকর্ডারে।
অস্থির অস্থির।
হ্যাঁ
তো জামাপুর কাছে চলে যাওয়ার কথা।
বুঝলাম।
হ্যালো,
ইয়েস
কি খবর? হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ?
এই তো ভালো। আপনার মিটিং চলতেছে মনে হয় না শেষ হয়ে গেছে? আরেকটা চলতেছিল।
ওটা শেষ হয়ে গেছে তো অনেক আগে।
ও বাকি পোলাপান জয়েন করুক নাকি?
একটু ওয়েট করি। কি অবস্থা? অফিসে হুডি পরে আসো দেখতেছি।
হ্যাঁ ঠান্ডা তো। আপনারা তো একটু -21 থাকেন, আমি তো +21 বাড়ি ঢাকা ছেড়ে দেবো ভাবতেছি।
ঢাকা থেকে কই যাবা?
এটাই, রংপুর তো আরো খারাপ অবস্থা।
এবার যা শীত পড়ছে শুনলাম, ক্রেজি।
ভালো।
আমার মা অনেক কমপ্লেন করছে।
ভিক্টোরিয়া কি জয়েন করবে?
I think she said she'd pop in, but অন্য সবার জন্য একটু ওয়েট করি।
আচ্ছা
আমরা যেমন জামাপু ছাড়া মানে এনকারেজমেন্ট পাই না, ইয়াস ওয়ার্ডপ্রেস টিম হচ্ছে ভিক্টোরিয়া ছাড়া চলেই না। তো হইলেই ভিক্টোরিয়া কোথায়, ভিক্টোরিয়া কোথায়?
So sad. Nobody says that about you, Adnan. Nobody says তোমার আমাকে ছাড়া চলে না।
I work in the shadows and I like to keep it that way.
As long as you are not shadows itself, it's fine. Actually, just a quick question. Is the room recording? Middle Earth?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Oh, Ramiz, hi.
Hello.
I can't even see you. I just see like Musa and Rhythm. I didn't realize you were there.
Can you see me now?
Exactly.
I can see you now.
Okay.
Okay, so we have...
Attention.
We're just waiting on Rubai and Onik.
Yep.
Okay. See, Rubai is here. So just Onik. Does anyone know where Onik is?
He was in the office earlier.
I guess পূজার জন্য বাইরে চলে গেছে, ওখান থেকে জয়েন করবে।
Gotcha. How about this? এখন 9টা বাজে নাই. Let's start. Make sure I make it. Let's start in exactly like 2-3 minutes. Let's give him a few minutes to jump on the call.
ঘড়ি দিকে জয়েন করবেন না? একবারে ঘড়ি দিকে একটা।
Hey guys.
Hey Victoria.
Hello.
Hello.
Are we waiting? Hey, yeah, we're just giving Onik a couple of minutes to see if he's joining. I think he went home early to try and make the meeting from home.
Okay, cool.
After his shift, so we're just gonna give him a few minutes. and let's get started regardless.
I can see Onik online with us.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, guys.
Okay, so Rhythm, feel free to get started.
So guys, I'm not expert here, but for whatever reason, I am doing this thing for last few quarters. And this session is not about training, this is all about knowledge sharing. Whatever I know, I will try to share with you guys. So it's the crude one, like create, update, and delete. So I will not hold you too much time today because before we go deep, I want to share a few things with you, like the one of action analytics, then what are the resources we need to do this, and some practices, then we'll jump into the Q&A section. Q&A.
Hey, Rhythm, just before you move forward, are you the host of the meeting?
No, Zaima is the host of the meeting, but we're recording this.
Okay, perfect. That was my next question. Okay, go ahead.
So we'll talk about action today, and then we'll jump to the analytics. And if you search what is action in Google, you'll get the exact same thing, whatever I write here, the fact or process of doing something. I mean, the thing you can achieve or thing done. So before I get started from here, I will show you some research resources you need to do. Like I've created, I'm just giving you the brief, okay? Like I've created a things named action practice for you. So if you broke something in NewScript that might cause some trouble, so I have created kingdom for each and everyone, like Rubai's kingdom, Adnan's kingdom. You feel free to do whatever you want here. And if you check your mail, probably you'll see that I've sent you to invitation to join one Tag Manager and one Google Analytics account. Could you please join that? There is the invitation.
Yeah, checking on that.
Rhythm bhai, I already did join the
Yeah, but check that.
GTag instance. Yeah.
So you'll get one chocolate. You're the champion.
Thanks.
Okay, so this for our practice, like you can see your area and Adnan's area, Aning's area. Then we have ours like Ramiz, Tausif Musa. Then if you're interested, like I'm Victoria, you can also do this. And there is my one.
Rhythm bhai, quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. So is this like the home page of the practice instance that you have set up?
What?
Is this like the home page of
Okay,
the instance that you have set
I've
up?
already set up one from a personal account, set up a tag manager and
Okay, yes.
one
Yes,
Google
I can
Analytics.
see that.
So you can create your own tag here. Okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
This is your area. If you like,
That
this
looks
is the
much
website.
better. Yep.
This area is your website. Then this area is another website. Don't dare to jump into this area. Maybe King of this Kingdom will happen.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get back from here. Okay, so what's action? I've told you a little bit. So if you can relate this with the things you can see, like I want to turn off and turn on the AC. To do this, I have to perform some action or something this part of. And like, let me give you a more good example. Like you have a light and you want to turn this off, okay? And there is a switch. So I have to go to the switchboard and turn off the light, okay? And let me refer this as turn off light, okay? I'm adding this, I'm referring this as a tag. The tag of this thing, the whole process I'll do is like turn off the light, rather saying you that I will go in front of the switchboard and then turn off the light. I'm referring this as turn off the light, okay?
Okay.
Then what will happen? If you press the switch, it will turn off the light, right? Mm-hmm. So it will fire something. It will fire an event which will tell the electricity that shut that light off, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. We're trying to make things easier so that we can relate with our real use case. Okay, so this is all about action. So you have to set a goal. If you set a goal, then you can achieve that. If without goal, you can achieve any aim, right? You must need to have an aim. Otherwise, how can you measure that you achieve that aim, right? Okay, so here are some practice that I already show you. I will share the slide with you, like action practice and then Google goal setup. This one is previously created by Peter Berger. Really nice doc, but there's some correction there. I will talk about that later on. Then I have arranged some videos for you. You don't have to learn HTML. You have to create a website. You don't have to write a beautiful designed website. All you have to do is know the things. Okay, because when we will talk about those things, you need to understand what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
So it's all about like 1 hour video for a CSS, 1 hour video for HTML. Then we can skip the JS part that's not needed at the moment. And then there is a little bit about regex, regular expression. Basically, this will help us to make our life more easier. Like we can achieve this by doing multiple work, lots of redundant work. But if we use regex, this will make things very simplified. Okay. Then I will give you some practice, like create an action which will track the click me. Then there are rest of the things which will refer to this website. Let's see the website. From here, like you can see, here is the click me. Will create an action for click me. These are the most common use case. Clients send this to us, like click me, then social share, then form submission, then we'll track link click, then the video progress, how much, or then we'll track something about the scroll depth. These are the common thing, right? And I guess if we're able to do this, then we'll jump into a little bit more advanced part to make more things more easier. Okay, do you have any questions so far?
Nope, I think we are all.
At the Rhythm, at the end you said if we are able to do this, what did you actually mean by this?
I mean by, I will give you some practice, right?
Yeah.
If we all, I will also perform this as well. So if we all able to complete this task, then I will jump into the more advanced part. If we're not able to do this, we'll try to do this all together.
I mean, you meant to say like, if we are able to create an action which will track individual link.
Yeah,
These are the things that we need to first try to do, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Cool. So if you go to, I will share this slide with you. If you go to this thing, you'll able to see that how can we create a tag manager container. Then how can we define variables? How can we set up GA tracking ID? Then what is trigger? What is event? Okay, this kind of things here, like what is trigger? Basically, let me give you a more good example. Like, so if someone comes to your visitor our website, then there is a form. Okay, so we are referring this. If someone submit the form, we'll collect that analytics so that we can know that what are the impression of this form and how many conversion we're getting, these kind of things, and only after the successful submission. So what trigger will do is trigger will tell the action analytics that someone perform an event. So let's collect this data. Just simply form. Okay. Do you got my point?
Yes.
Yep.
Then there is tag. What is tag? I guess this doc will really help you, but there are a few corrections. There is something missing. I'll talk about that later on. And then goal creation. As I said earlier, that we need to have a goal so that we can define that we achieve that goal, right? And then the caution tips. I don't know. And there he also mentioned about that, the CSS thing and regular expression thing. We for now we can skip the setup process. because I have already created this for you. Like if you go here, like you see a fresh account of Google Analytics. You are all of us are admin here, so feel free to do anything. Maybe you can create the container as well. That doesn't really matter. And here is the tag manager. We'll follow a convention. When you create any tag, please refer your name first, then write the tag, so that we can understand what we're doing here. Because we'll perform the same thing for all of our separate area, like for this website. So the thing, and okay. So do you want me to give you a little more detail about what are the things we need from the HTML and CSS, or you want to watch the video first? Yes, can you hear me?
Yep. Rhythm bhai, I think like it's just my personal opinion, but we are not really aware of like what the different tags or triggers do in essence. Like we are seeing how they are appearing in the UI, but we don't really know what their functions are. So like if you could just run through the steps
Yeah,
on how a particular action item is created, yeah, that would be really helpful. Yep.
Yeah. But before we jump into this actual setup, I just wanted to know that if you are familiar with the basic selectors of CSS and the HTML tags. If you're not familiar with those things, maybe I will go through this a little bit.
No, it will be great. Like, hey, Ridham bhai, this is Onik. So it will be great, like, if you first show us the tags and all that. So after that, we can jump into the next stage.
Agreed. Yep.
So again, I'm referring this doc because if you notice this, like, let me show you where it is. Okay. So I've added some links for CSS and HTML. Again, you don't have to create any website or anything else. All you have to do is watch the video so that you can learn the term. Okay.
Okay.
So for CSS, all you need to learn about selector. How can you learn that? Like you can search over like CSS selectors. So yes, here it is, the W3 school, high school for everyone. Okay, cool. So here are some of the things you can see. That this is a class. These are there are multiple classes. How can we select that? These are the selectors. Okay, I will show you the real use case later on.
Okay.
Just giving you the reference so you can get it from here. If you are the other selectors, this will be really helpful on the time we'll set up the actual action, because and the scenario is a little bit vary because all the websites are not equal. It's depend on the developer who created the website. Maybe someone will use a div ID, someone will use the div class, so it's not exactly the same case you will get every time. So these are the basic selectors. Like I want to target a thing which has a class, then we can target the class from the Google Tag Manager. Then probably that has a container ID. Maybe we can also pick that from the Google Tag Manager. And by the way, do you all know what's Google Tag Manager? What is the purpose of the Google Tag Manager? No. Okay, cool. You should ask me a question, please. Okay, the thing is, you can do most of the things directly from Google Analytics. But the thing is, it will make our life a lot more difficult because on that case, if we have to change anything, or we have to deploy a lot of things, then we have to do all the manual thing, and there will be no track, there will be no version control. Like, I guess you heard about the Git, right? All of us, we know about the GitHub. So why we use GitHub to version control? That means probably, like, let's say I have changed something and I will push that on the GitHub. So it will keep a version of that. It will also keep the previous version of the changes of the file. Okay. So now let's say I have deployed a new action directly on Google Analytics, and somehow that will create some bug. Okay. So on that case, we have to refactor all those things. Rather, what we can do here from Google Tag Manager is we can see the version. Like we can tell someone that, oh no, I didn't break this thing, he break that thing. Like here it is. You can refer to that. Like you can see, I've created this version. I have added Google Analytics tracking ID. Okay. And this tool is actually giving us all the things we can do. Most of the things, actually not all the things, most of the things that we can do from Google Analytics in a beautiful, or I can refer to this as a most easy, user-friendly interface. So let me give something like, you can see here that there is one visitor, right? One active user here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I did here is I have set a tag which will fire an event, that will fire a trigger that will count the number of visitors on the website. Here it is. But if without tag manager, we can also achieve this thing, right? Like this way, we can simply rather adding that tag manager script, we could have add this part of the script directly on the website. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, but again, on that case, this will create a lot more issue or make things lot more difficult. Okay, so here is the practice section. So, do you have any question regarding Google Tag Manager now?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Should I move on?
I have one question.
Yeah.
So in order to learn the basics, do we just go through the doc that Peter set up, or do we need to learn something else for this?
The thing is, you will first check the doc, then you will check that videos, then I will create all the things, the task I have given you. Like, let me show you. Here is the practice section. You can see here, create an action for click me. I will create all those things real time, okay? So that all of you can see how I created the thing.
Okay.
And then you have to replicate that.
Okay.
So this will make things much easier. But the thing is, what I want is you should try it first after reading this doc and watching these videos. It's not necessary that you have to create any of these things. But if you can do this, that will help you to learn a lot of things. Because you have to deal with the real use case, right? And these are the use case you can easily see and what you have to do. But you know, the client ticket is a lot more difficult. They will not tell you like create an action which will track click me. They will maybe ask why the color of the sky is blue. This kind of joke, right?
So, hey Ridham bhai, so basically all the actions in the practice slide, right?
Yeah.
Like create an action which will track click me. So like we will create all these actions to the Google Tag Manager first, right?
Yeah.
And like after that, when we will that kingdom section, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we will
your personal website. Feel free to
Okay.
do anything with this. Like, where is the section? Okay, here it is.
Okay,
You have
so
the
like
as well.
so like we will create the action first, then we will come back to the kingdom section, and they will like when we will select click me, or click when we will click on the click me button, it will like it will like create an event, right? So that will be recorded in the Google Tag Manager. Is that the whole process here?
No, the process is, let me give you the thing. You have to first come to here. This one is your website, okay? Let me zoom it a little bit. Let's say WebS1. This is the website, okay? This is a complete website. Forget about the other one. So the client requirement is we have to first, they know how many visitors are there, how many weekly visitors, how many unique visitors are there, but they want to know how many people click this thing. And maybe this click me button is on multiple pages. Okay, so they want to know from which page they are getting more leads or maybe more clicks so that they can boost that page or optimize that page to get more leads. Okay, so the whole purpose here is first we'll check this thing. How can we track this button? Okay, first we have to, then we'll come back here and go to this section and we'll create a new tag. Remember I told you I referred that I will turn off the light as a tag. You have to exactly create the same thing. Like you can create a tag. Click me. Okay. Button click me. Maybe since we are for practice. Since all of us will do the action setup. I mean the tag setup here to divide those things. We can refer it as like onic underscore click me button. Okay. That's a tag. Then we'll create some mechanism, or I can refer this as a functionality, which will perform an action, or I can fire an event when someone will click this button. Okay. And we can debug this in real time. Like, let me give you. Okay, where is it? Sorry guys. Here's the preview. Can you see the preview button here?
Yep.
Okay, this is a game changer. This will change the game completely. So maybe you were wondering, should I publish each of the time the action and check this action is working or not? No, you don't have to publish the actual action before everything is working correctly. You can debug this from here. Like if you click the preview button, and then you refresh this page. Okay, the net is good enough to load this.
So Rhythm Bhai, one question. So whatever changes we make, those changes will reflect on the preview post as well, right?
Preview.
So for example, if I make a change, in a tag, that change should also reflect in the preview, right?
Exactly. After changing the tag, you will click this refresh button, then you will refresh this page. You will be able to see this. You can see here. This is the thing. One fire event. I mean, I visited this page. That's why it's fire an event that's tracking the page view. Okay.
Okay.
Now, why we need to know the selector? You can see here there are two buttons, right?
Yep.
I was talking about the selectors. We need to know about the selectors. How can we define this? That this one, but this button is the click me button, right? Maybe someone click this button, and we are also counting that for a click me. So if you go to the source, I'm giving a basic idea, a top level idea, but make sure to watch that video so that it will help you to understand the exact thing. Can you see the button? Okay. I guess I need to share the link with you guys so that you can. Okay, where is it? It's on from Zoom, but still showing this. Can you visit this page? I mean, where is my Zoom? It's interesting.
I think you can share it in the chat box, Rhythm Bhai, like the Zoom chat box. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sharing with you, bro. Please share in the chat box.
Okay, just post it in the support channel. We can take the link from there.
Sure.
Cool. Okay, support channel. Cool. Okay, can you guys open that link?
Yep.
Cool. Also the tag manager and analytics, Google Analytics.
Also the tag manager.
Sure.
Please.
I don't think you pressed enter or something because I'm not seeing it in the support channel.
Oh, share.
Oh, it's in the support channel. Okay.
Okay. You can see the website right now, right? So there is a term called selector, as I mentioned earlier. Like this is a selector. This is a class selector. Okay. There's a class selector, and there is an ID selector. These are the selectors. And then you can see the name of the selector is actually class, and then the value of the selector is click me. Cool. So if I'm doing one thing, like what you have to do, I was you don't have to understand everything now, okay? I'm just showing you for reference. We'll do it again and again.
Sure.
It's not an issue. Rhythm, click me. Then I have to say it Google Analytics Universal, and then what will happen if you click? It will fire an event, right?
Event, right.
Okay, we have to select the event. Then you can refer. I'm referring this. The category of this is clicks. Okay. You can write anything, right? Rhythm, click me button. Okay. You can leave it as it is. Then you have to select. I will come back to it later on. You have to select tracking ID. Okay. I'll show you how can you set up all those things. Then,
Hey, Rhythm, quick question on how you're labeling the action. Is that what shows up in CMP?
no.
Okay.
You have to again write the name or label of the action on Google Analytics. There is a section where we have to write the thing, and we'll pull this data from this. These are basically the key of the action, and these are the category. We'll select this category and this key that will pull the data from here.
Okay.
And then there's tagging. Okay. So then if you check that, I just click a plus button because all I can see is all pages. Then we'll write trigger name like rhythm, click, okay, someone click me button, or just click me button. Then we'll select, there are many triggers, okay, you can see it. There's a page view trigger, the DOM ready. DOM ready is basically the thing when the page will get ready, will perform an action. Then the window loaded, I mean all the HTML CSS get loaded, then all the elements, and then just links you refer to the links of the website, maybe the anchored links, then the form submission, then scroll depth, then YouTube video. There are lots of pre-built trigger here. So let me select all elements, okay, because I'm referring this as an element of the website. The button is the element of the website, right? Does it make sense? Okay, if you not get this, let me tell you another thing. Like, this is the basic architecture of the HTML. Like, there is a HTML tag, then there is a header section, then there is a body section. Okay, whatever you can see here is basically the part of the header section, this head section. Okay. Then there is a body section from where we are loading these things. Like, it's broken, let's fix it. Okay, then, so we are referring this, and people also call this a DOM. DOM is referring as document object mapping, and these are the element of the website. Okay, now, do you have any question regarding what are the elements?
I guess in terms of on the triggers, when you looked at that big menu of options and you selected all elements, why wouldn't you choose just clicks, for example, if you know that you're only going to do a particular click in this action?
Okay, so basically click all elements. This is the only function. We can create a custom one, but there is a shortcut. Like, after I select all the elements, then we can select some clicks. Okay.
Okay.
So we don't have to think about all the elements now. We can now, from here, these are the basically the functionality we're going to perform. Like, from the built-in, what we'll do, we'll click a class. Okay. Click classes. So I'm referring this previously, like, we have to pick this selector. There is a class selector. Where it is? Let me show you. Like, here, there is a class selector, click me. This is the class, right?
Yeah.
And if someone clicks that class, I'm not referring this button now, I'm talking about the selector. If someone click this button, is basically click this element and click this selector, right?
Yep.
So,
Okay, Rhythm bhai, are you referring the classes as selector?
yeah.
Okay.
The class selector, there is the ID selector. You can also target this HTML as a selector.
Okay.
So you'll know all about all these things from the talk, but I'm just showing you the top level things. Then we'll do it together.
Mhm.
So I'm referring this as, let's say, the click class content.
Click me.
Click me, perfect. But do you know one thing? When we're referring something as class, there is a rule. The rule is, let me show you. When you're talking about the class, you have to put a dot in front of the class. Okay? And when you're referring an ID, you have to put a hash in front of the rhythm. Okay?
Okay.
So here, click me. Now I don't want to touch Rubai section, Adnan Bhai section. So I want to work only here, right? So if I go jump this place, there is another selector. The name of the selector is, let me show you. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Can you see the ID selector here, rhythm?
Yes.
Perfect. So what we'll do is we'll contain like this, or there are other things like match CSS selector. You can also refer like this, or maybe you can contain. This one is more convenient. I will talk about all these things later on. Since we are working with the CSS part, this selector are part of the CSS, right? As I mentioned earlier. So let's say think about this.
So but then the way you differentiate the ID from the class is that dot.
Yeah, the class is dot and the ID is hash.
Okay. And so, and just something important to note that there can only be one ID on a page. So that is always going to be the way to singularly target something.
Best practice is the name of the ID. Like there are multiple IDs. You can see Zyme ID, like your one and my one. There are multiple IDs. But the ideal best practice is one page should have one identical ID, unique ID. Like it should not have multiple ID with the same name.
Okay.
Same value.
Whereas like a CSS class is more of like a category of things on a page. So click me is going to contain all of those buttons, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's save. Let me do something like, okay, let's save this thing. So you can see it will assign this trigger. Sorry, the net here. You can see. So here is a tag, and this tag is referred to, belongs to this trigger. Then I'm saving this. So we have rhythm click me. Then I'm refreshing this page, and I'm coming back here. The new condition is very good. It's loading. Okay, you can see the tags is here. Tags that not fired yet. Rhythm click me.
Yes.
Website, perfect. Let's click on. Let's click this. Actually, the fire actually there is an event, but we're not tracking this. Okay, none. Then I'm clicking this. The same thing. Let me check if I able to do this correctly for my one. Okay. It's also not working. So there is something went wrong. Let me tell you one thing. I'll do lots of things wrong here, just to show you what are the things we are doing wrong here. Okay. But basically, these are the things I faced issue when I initially started to doing this work.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say this is the link, the CSS selector. Let's debug together. I'm removing this thing. Click class. Let's say content this. I'm just testing this thing, okay?
Okay.
Again, I will reload the page. So it's still not working. So let me debug it from here. That I've selected the type of the event, the type of the work we're going to track is event. Then there is a label. These are things which are not mandatory, but best practice is to select like page path. You can select the page path here. And then again here. Okay. Then let me go back to the choose things. Let's say we'll select now click element, right? Okay, and I'm referring this element has a CSS selector. This ooh, it's working now. Right? It's working now. But the problem is, if you click here, it's also work for this button as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why the previous one wasn't working? Let me tell you why. When you select a CSS selector, it must need to be. Let me show you. Here. Here is a div. Can you see that?
Yep.
So when you are clicking this, basically you are clicking on the div first, and the CSS selector only will able to work when this is with the actual parent. So parent for this button is actually the div. If we put this thing from here to here, our previous functionality will work. You got my point? I mean the CSS selector, when you click any CSS selector things, this must need to be on the parent. That's why it wasn't working previously. That's not an issue. Don't take it with too much pressure. It's really easy. Since we're watching this for the first time, maybe you were thinking there's lots of things, but it's actually not a lot of things. We will get used to it during our sessions. So no need to worry about that. I'm just showing you what are the use cases you will face maybe when we will practice this thing. Okay? Now let's get back and fix our bug. I love to use the term bug because you guys used to send me a lot of tickets with the label bugs. Okay. So now see the selector. Okay, that's completely fine. And let's refer this as rhythm. Rhythm, click me. Perfect. Click element, and that, so it's actually telling the system that someone will click the element that has this class or CSS selector. Please save. Yeah. Please. Why the net is so slow? Yeah. Okay, let's click. Oh shit, it's not working again. Oh, now it's working, right? It's not working for this clicking. It's only working for rhythms one. This is what we want to achieve, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's working, not working for this, not working for this, not working for this, but it's only work for my kingdom. You can see the check this thing. Oh, fire. See? Whenever I click this thing, okay, I just click too much. Like this. You know, see 34, 35, 37. It's actually
Yeah.
firing the event. Okay?
Yes.
It will not work here at the moment because we are debugging the things. We are still in we're in the staging version. We're still in the staging version. So how can we deploy this thing here, right?
Mhm.
That's one of our goal. I'm giving you the top level idea. No need to worry about that. We'll do this again. So we can leave the preview mode. Yes. Okay, I don't want to debug anymore. I'm showing you the practices because it's working now, right? Let's check that it's working now. We wanted to create an event which will track the button click, and it's working for a particular button, not for the all button. Sorry guys, my net is not that good. It's taking a while. It's loading. I thought it was CMP. Okay, now submit and version name. Okay, maybe people use different terms like added the thing, like added, click me things. Don't use this term. The comment here should be actionable, right? Like add, click me event, not added. And then I publish this thing. Or maybe you can also refer like Zira, like example, like our board is WPCMS, and the ticket number you can refer as like ACT, I guess, action board, then the ticket number, then 1, 2, 3, then the comment. So in future, if someone came here, can easily identify that Rhythm created this event for that ticket. Now, let's come back here. There are two parts, okay? These are the real time. Whatever thing will perform here, we will be able to see this in real time here, but this, the audience part is the summary of the actual work. You will not able to see the debugger anymore. And let me open the event. We have created that as an event. So okay, you can see one click because I just clicked there. Here another event like click me. And it will actually fire the event for this. It will take a little bit time to come here, because it's count the IP of the user to define that is it a unique visitor or another person. So if you go to the incognito, and you can also go to this, you can also click that button. Please click the button. You will be able to see this from here. Click the button, click me on my section, rhythms one. Are you clicking? Click the button, bro. You should also click.
Yeah,
Come
I'm
on.
clicking.
Rhythms one.
Other keepers. Click.
Yeah, I have clicked as well.
Okay. Yes. probably it will take a little bit time to come here, but you will be able to see this from here. Okay. This is the section we'll get because it's also not updated yet, like the traffic one. You can also see this only one. Since I'm using this site, probably not coming this here, but it's only counting my one at the moment. You will definitely be able to see from here in real time. Okay. And if you want to see if it is working or not, you can click the button from the incognito for your own use case. Like you have created thing, you click from the first time from here, and then you can test the thing. You can go to the incognito mode and click again. Okay. So, do you have any questions so far? We're yet to set up the action. I just created the event for the action, not the actual action one. Okay, I'm giving you a quick view of how we'll do this. But before, I'm trying to skip these things because I don't want to give you too much thing in one day that will make you confused and will create a little bit problem for you to remember. But there's a thing, like we have to go to this icon, the gear icon. Then we have to go to this goal section. As I referred earlier, we have to set a goal to achieve our aim, right? With the aim, we can achieve the thing. Then we have to create a new goal. Then Victory was talking about how can we change the label. This name of the label is the actual label which will be visible on the CMP. Not for this one, but when we'll use the new screen instance. Right, like click rhythm, click me. And then we'll define this as an event. Then you don't have to do anything. Then remember, I set a category for these clicks. Then name of the action was, let me check again. I can go here. And then rhythm. Then we have to set this here. We don't have to do anything else. Okay, done. Our first action is already on the line. It will take 24 hours because on the data lake we have, it requires 24-hour time to pull the data from the actual Google thing, and then will reflect on the side. Probably after 12 p.m. Dhaka time, it will work for our use case, but forget about all those things. So this is how we can set up an action. There are many other things. How can we map those? This will actually, the way I have created, it will not work for the CMP, but I'll show you why later on. Okay?
Okay.
So these are the
So,
things.
Rhythm, do we have any demo CMP instance to see the actions right now?
See the action?
Or like the actions we are setting right now, right?
Yep.
So, do we have any demo instance?
Exactly,
Where,
this one the demo. I have sent you already invitation for this.
no, demo CMP instance. I mean, not.
Demo CMP instance. Okay. No, on that case, we have to work on the actual Google container for the new script. We'll jump into that, but I guess let us practice on this thing here. Okay, we can create, we can delete, we can update whatever thing we want to do. We can perform here. Then we will jump into the demo instance.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
So, guys, do you have any question? Anyone?
So if before you do the next session next week maybe, so what are the things that we need to go through?
Okay, so I will share this slide with you, most minimal, or you can say the most simplest slide here. You have to follow this section. First, you can go to this link, the action practice part. Then you can go through this doc. Here is the doc. Okay. Where the link is. You have to go through this doc. Then you will watch this interesting YouTube video. I just searched it and got it, and you have to see these three things. All you have to do is this. Then you will go to this practice section and try to create your own event the way I created a few minutes ago here. If you can do this, that's great. If you can't do this, no need to worry about. We'll do this again and again all together. Does it make sense? No?
Yep. I guess like once we revisit the recording for this session alongside the resource materials, hopefully we will have a better understanding of what we
Exactly.
need
If you try to do this, then you will be able to see a lot more things that
Yep.
will help you to set up the analytics later on. And I'm always here. Feel free to knock me anytime for setting up these actions. But I want to give you these things so that you can at least try to create an actual click me, social media share, individual share, scroll depth. And I have already shown you where you can get this trigger. Then maybe you can think about your own custom use case and track that as well. I will share this slide with you as soon as we close this meeting today. Or do you have anything else? Please let me know. I can try to give you a brief about that. Yes, do you have any question? So,
I'm good for the day. Yep.
so whatever I
here.
said earlier, is there anything
here.
that, yep, sorry. Anand, did you say anything?
No, I said I'm good for today.
Okay, cool. So do you have any feedback for me that maybe I need to show you these kind of things so that will be more easier for you to understand? I want to learn as well. So we're sharing knowledge here. I'm not training you or not teaching you. We're just sharing knowledge. So if you share something with me that I need to show you in this way, or that will be more helpful if I would be able to show you that, I will try to replicate your thing.
Rhythm, I think the only thing that might be useful is, and this is of course like after we figure out how to do this, but just maybe having like a really quick workflow to show us like exactly where you start when you're setting up actions and up until the point that they show up in the CMP.
Okay, you can get the whole workflow here on this doc from start to end, but you don't have to understand all the things from here. I just wanted you guys to go through the docs so that when we'll have our next session, you will understand each and everything whatever I'm talking about.
Okay, sounds good.
So what I'm telling is, I don't want to put too much thing all together in a day, which will create, mess up. So it would be great if you just go through these resources and have some idea about the things we are going to use, the term we are going to use, and the things we need to set up the action. It's really easy. You can see, you just notice that I create the click me button, but just clicking something and writing 2-3 texts. So it's not a rocket science. We can easily do this. So all we need to do, understand the terms, things we are going to achieve. So basically we have to understand the goal. Okay. So we have to fix a goal that we want to achieve. If we are able to define the goal, we can set up the action easily without any issue.
Yeah, I think for a first session, it went really well. So let's go through everything first, including the recording, and then we can like practice it out for a bit on our own. And whenever we have any questions, we will definitely reach out to you. Yep.
Call me or do whatever you want.
Yeah, this is like a work in progress, so it's going to take a time. It's going to take a while, a bit of time, but inshallah we will get there.
You guys will able to set up the action within next 2 sessions.
Inshallah.
That's I believe you should be able to do this, because if you go through these things, you will understand, and you please keep this recording as the reference so that you can refer what I did earlier.
Yep.
Of course.
Ramesh, we are recording, right?
Yeah, we're recording.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, do you have anything to say? Victoria, Zaimapu, or anyone?
No, thank you.
Good. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you so much. Should we schedule the next one for sometime next week?
Sure. I guess I guess it would be great if we set up this next week, because if there is a lots of delay between the session, it will be not helpful that much.
Can we say the same day and time as today? So it's
Sure.
right after
I don't
the
have any
team.
problem. Sit anytime. I'm available all the time.
Okay. Same day,
That's,
same time.
that's almost a little sad.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I'll set up the next one. Don't worry about it.
Thank you guys. Thank you for joining.
Thank you,
Thanks, Ed.
Ridham bhai.
Thanks,
Worries.
Rhythm.
The pleasure was all ours. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ridham bhai.
Stop recording.